Hare Rama Krishna, Hare Rama Krishna, Hare Rama Krishna, Om Namo Narayana. For quite a long time, I wanted to talk about this topic about Upapada Lagna and how Upapada Lagna can be useful in improving the marital harmony. To elucidate this point, what I'm doing is I'm going to present it with respect to an eminent psychologist and psychologist Fritz Heider. He was the psychologist who presented the idea of balance theory. So don't get me wrong, this is not a psychology class, but as we know, when we analyze the chart, when we analyze the kundali, we do get to see how the person's psyche is. And using his theory of balance, his balance theory of relationships, we can apply this psychological concept to our regular birth chart and come to some conclusions which help us in improving our marital harmony. So this is his theory of his balance theory of relationship. What it says is that if there are two people and they both like one thing, okay, then that state is a balanced state. But if one of the person likes it and the other doesn't like it, then that creates an unbalanced state. And the relationship does not remain in the unbalanced state for a long time. It has to become balanced at some point or the later. And how does it become unbalanced? How does it become balanced from unbalanced? Either they both end up hating each other, or they both uh, or they both end up liking each other. That's how they become balanced. Okay, let me give you an example. Suppose you and your wife, okay, your spouse and you both like let's say Donald Trump. Okay, so this is a balanced state. Look at the first figure. The first figure on the top left corner, husband and wife, and X is that Trump. So husband also likes Trump, wife also likes Trump, and husband and wife, they also like each other. This is a balanced state. But what will happen if husband likes Trump but wife doesn't like? This is an unbalanced state. Okay, look at the second figure. Husband likes Trump, wife doesn't like Trump. So what will happen from this unbalanced state? From this unbalanced state, they go to either they both end up liking him or they both end up disliking him. That is the unbalanced state. That is the balanced state to which they tend to. So you must have also seen, if you are a married person, that in your marital relationship, if there is a place of conflict, there is one third person whom one person likes, the other person doesn't like, then in the due course of time, either you both end up disliking him or you both end up liking him. So what is the concept of this balance theory? The balance theory says you cannot remain in the state of unbalance for a long time. You cannot remain in the state of unbalance for a long time. If you remain unbalanced, what will happen? You will end up hating each other. There will be separation in husband and wife. So over time, what you are supposed to do to bring the marital harmony is simply to bring down the state of unbalancedness, get towards more balanced state. Either you both hate that person or you both like that person. It is not just about person, it is about things also. Okay. So better would be if you like that person, better would be if you both hate that person or that thing. That way, when you get to that balanced state, then your marital success is guaranteed. Now, this concept we are going to use for finding out what we can do to arrive at that state. So for that, we have to look at the 12th house, because we know whatever current state you are right now in, whatever your likes and dislikes and your ego, all that collective thing is the lagna. Okay, that's what you are. And if I tell you to give up something, that giving up is actually the 12th house. So the 12th house stands for all these things. It stands for losses. Whatever expenses you do, that that is the 12th house. Okay. If you have some habit and you have to give up that habit, that giving up is also 12th house. Donations is 12th house. Meditation is 12th house. Why meditation is 12th house? Because in meditation, you lose your ego. You look at your ego like you are looking at some third person. You lose yourself in the state of meditation. You are not this and this. You are simply nobody. In fact, the very definition of meditation is that you are nobody. I am nobody. I am not this body. I am not this mind. That's meditation. That's also the 12th house. Donations that you do to poor and needy people, that's 12th house. Sleep. So sleep is also a, you can say it's kind of meditation where you don't know you are meditating. Okay. Unaware meditation is sleep. Aware sleep is meditation. Then all the compromises. What is the compromise? Compromise is again where you are losing your self of identity you are losing. Suppose you can say that, okay, just like this example of an unbalanced relationship. You like Eminem, your wife doesn't like Eminem. Over time, what will happen? You will start disliking Eminem. You'll start disliking Eminem. So that there is a state of balance. There is a state of balance in the relationship. So that compromise that you are arriving at, that is the 12th house. And that compromise could happen with respect to things you love, with respect to people you like, with respect to activities, your hobbies, whatever things you want to cling to, you may have to give up just for the sake of arriving at that balanced relationship. And the unconscious mind. So something which is hidden or coming from the past life, or something that even you are not aware. You don't know what is there in the 12th house. It is the unconscious mind. It is what the tip of the iceberg you see, your conscious, subconscious. But the unconscious is huge and you don't even know what is there lying. So all these things are denoted by the 12th house. And what is the Arudha of 12th house? So Arudha means what really shows up in the world. Okay. Arudha means what materially people see. For example, the fourth house is your Sukha Bhava, how happy you are, how comfortable you are. But the Arudha fourth house is the visible thing in the world that others perceive, based on which people know that how happy you are. For example, Arudha fourth house is called A4, and it denotes the vehicles, the good vehicles you have. That means you have a comfortable life, you have a good luxurious house. Then it is it is the A4. Okay, so these are the things in the world. They are visible to the society, so that they know that yes, you are leading a comfortable life. That is the Arudha. Similarly, the Arudha of 12th house is the visible thing that you are giving up, the visible compromises that you are making in this world. So that is the Arudha of 12th house. Now, that Arudha of 12th house has been given special significance. It is called the Upapada, and it denotes the marriage. Why marriage? Because in marriage, in the ancient people, the ancient saints and sages of India, they know that, they have known it for a long time, that any marriage is just a set of compromises. Without, you cannot sustain the marriage without having to do with some compromises. It doesn't happen that you remain yourself even after the marriage. Okay, why? Because you have to arrive at the balanced state. You have to arrive at the balanced state by giving up, by compromising things that you love, by accommodating the other person's choices. So now that Upapada Lagna will show in your Kundali, it will show the things that you will be giving up, the things, the compromises that you'll be doing, so that your marriage life is more harmonious. Now look at this Kundali. How is Arudha Lagna calculated? That calculation I'm not going to do. That you can do in Jehora. There are standard text for doing that. Basically, you take the Lord from that sign and count that many signs from there to arrive at the Arudha. But in Kundali, in this chart, you can see UL. UL is there in Aquarius. And in Aquarius, Jupiter is retrograde with Upapada Lagna. So what it is denoting? It is denoting the things that this person have to give up, that will be visible in the world, so that his marital harmony is sustained. So whatever planet is there rising with UL, that planet you will have to make donations of. That planet you have to start compromising, so that your marriage is sustained, your marital harmony is guaranteed. So what are the things that Jupiter represents? So Jupiter could represent religious books also. It means karma kand, the religiousness, spirituality, doing a lot of puja part, reading religious texts. So if some person has Jupiter with Arudha Lagna, with Upapada Lagna, that means if he gives all these things, if he compromises, he gives up these things related to Jupiter, then his marriage life will become good. Likewise, we can also see if some planet is not there, then we can see who is lording it. So we know that if had this sign Jupiter not been there, then this sign is lorded by Saturn. And for Saturn, we can look at the other significations of Saturn, which will basically make it make the marital life more and more better. So here I have listed down a couple of things for each planet. This planet is the one which is there along with Upapada Lagna. If Upapada Lagna is empty, then look at the Lord. And so like in the previous Kundali, we saw that Jupiter was there. So Jupiter represents the religiousness and the karma kanda, the puja part, reading scriptures and all. So if this person is very religious, he's reading a lot of puja, he's doing for 2 hours, 3 hours, he doing the puja. It may so happen that doing this could be causing him the harm. His marital happiness could be compromised because of this. So if he gives up this, if he reduces the activities, if he reduces the religiousness in him, then his marital life would be better. That's what it shows. If Mars is over there, then it simply means he has to give up the anger, he has to give up some level of ambitions. Okay, This guy might be very ambitious, and his being ambitious could be causing him to some conflict in the marital life. If Saturn is there, Saturn is the planet of aloofness. You see, Saturn is the farthest, and so if Saturn is there with UL, that means it is, there is coldness in the relationship. The person is very cold. He's very strict. At morning he has to wake up at 6 o'clock, 6:30. He has to go to gym. 7 o'clock he wants the tea. So all that strictness and discipline is causing disruption in the marital happiness. He has to loosen it up. Mercury could be, if this person is over analyzing. Okay, if Mercury is there with Upapada Lagna, the person is very over analyzing. He's overthinking, or he's very fickle minded. He's very indecisive. He sometimes thinks about this, sometimes he thinks about that. And this over analysis, like before spending, he goes to the restaurant, and before ordering anything, he'll look at the price chart, and analyzing the price chart of this restaurant, that restaurant. He'll come up with some optimized way of expending his money, and that will ruin his evening with his wife. That he has to give up. Don't be too money minded. If Mercury is over there, let loosen it up, so that it is good for your marriage life. When Sun is there, it shows the ego clashes. It shows the person is very selfish. He's me, nothing else. And that he has to loosen up, so that he accommodates the partner also. Moon is represents the lust. Person is too emotional. It may so happen that too much lust, or too much uh, emotional imbalance is causing problem in the marriage life. So try to control your emotions. Try to control your lust. Jupiter, I already explained, a lot of religiousness, too much spirituality, too much into the religious texts and all, so that the marriage is getting affected. Rahu stands for manipulation. If you are very manipulative, then keep that power politics low. Don't be too much into power politics when it comes to family. Reduce that, then it will be good. If it is Ketu, then you might be very strong headed, because Ketu doesn't have head. So from somewhere else, you are getting into that fanaticism. So leave that fanaticism, reduce that fanaticism, that neuroticism. You have to leave that, so that the marital life becomes good. So these planets you have to see with respect to if they are there in the Upapada Lagna. Try to reduce these planets, try to reduce the activities of these planets, so that the marital happiness is there in your life. I hope this helps. Thank you for watching. Om Namo Narayana.